Welcome back, my dear students. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, my dear students. This is your teacher, Dr. Samar Keshwa, and today we will resume working on the presentation. We will resume working on presentation. Here we go. Just one sec. Yeah. So good morning, everyone, again. Good morning, everyone. And here we talk about the presentation in the previous lecture. We talk about the presentation and types of presentation and the purpose of the presentation and who are your audiences and the what to be done in the presentation during the presentation time. What you'll use in the presentations, you can use slides, we call it visual aids, infographics. Infographic is data, like data is represented in a figure of graphs. Flips also, you can use the flips, charts, whiteboards, smart boards, and handouts. So these things are the things which we use in the presentation. For each presentation, there are pros and cons for its own visual contents. So as example, let's say here, let me enlarge this slide and get it a little bit bigger and size like this. So as example, the PowerPoint, they create professional appearance with many colors, arts, graphics, because we usually use in the PowerPoint graphics. And font options also, you have font options. You can make it large, you can make it small, like that one which I'm using right now. Easy to use, and transport via removable storage media. Web download or email attachments, inexpensive to update cinematic things. So you can do a lot of works here using the PowerPoint. The infographics, you can do the slides, you can copy and paste, you can add any animations or whatever you want to the slide itself, no problem. But the cons of it, present potential incompatibility issues, requires costly projection equipment and practice for smooth delivery. Tempts user to include razzle-dazzle features that may fail to add value. Distract viewers during zooming or transitions. Sometimes it makes you distracted. You won't be able to focus. That's the main one, actually, which we want to talk about. The second thing, the infographics, when you do the data in a figure of graphs. Appearing visualization of data, so you can see it in a figure of data. Oversimplification to complex ideas, like as example, it might be complex, it might be not easy to be understood sometimes. Sometimes also the charts, the flip charts on boards, like using the one flip chart, then you flip it and take the other one, exactly like you're doing a notebook. This provides an inexpensive, because it's not expensive option. You will just have the already wrote this boards at most sites, easy to create, modify, or customize on the spot, record comments from the audiences, combined with more high-tech visuals in the same presentation. So it's better to combine it with the presentation as well. It's better to combine it with the presentation, right? Create instant digital records of what happened during the presentation. Okay, that's the point. Require graphic talent, difficult for larger audiences to see. Prepared flip charts are cumbersome to transport and easily worn with use. We have also kinds of presentations like handouts or speaker's notes. The speaker's notes encourage audience participation also, because he put his notes in it. easy to maintain and update, enhance recall because audience keeps reference materials. So when you hand out these stuff, it's not like the presentation because we have already data in our hands. The audiences will have the data already in their hands. And increased risk of unauthorized duplication of speakers' materials can be difficult to transport. You cannot carry it with you anywhere you go sometimes. It's not like a flash memory which I'll prepare my presentation. It may cause speaker to lose the audience's attention. Sometimes the audience will say, we will read it later, no problem. So they lose the attention. Readers might say, well, okay, keep it now, we will see it later. So this might, in that case, they might lose the attention. Gives an accurate representation also. What is this? This is about the videos. When you do videos, actually the videos are shortcutting because in the video you can describe one chapter in about 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So it helps too much also. Gives an accurate representation of the content, strong indications of forethoughts and preparations. Creates potentials for compatibility issues related to computer, videos, formats, expensive to create and update. Here, things also like, so the disadvantage of the recording is create potential for compatibility issues related to computer video formats, expensive to create and update. It takes time to prepare it and update it and so on. The props offer a realistic reinforcement of message content, increase audience's participation with close observation. Lead to extra work and expensive in transporting and replacing worn objects. Limited use with a larger audiences. Of course, larger audience, because if you will work on this microscope as well or whatever, or any kind of the props, then you cannot work with a lot of audiences. You need only little audiences. You don't need too much of them. Okay. Designing effective presentation, and that's what we will care about. So you analyze the situation and the purpose, anticipate your audiences, check out who are your audiences, adapt text and color selections, organize your visuals, design your visuals. Revise, proofread, and evaluate your slideshows. Use slides effectively in front of your audience. So these are the things which you have to do to design effective presentation. This is my first question today. What are the steps to, then here, sorry about that, design a good representation? What are the steps to design a good representation? So what are the steps to design a good representation or presentation? Representation or presentation? What are the steps to design it? So you have to analyze the situation, the purpose, anticipate your audiences, adapt text and color selection, organize your visuals, design your visuals, revise, proofread, and evaluate your slideshows, use slide effectively in front of an audiences. These are the things which you have to do to have a good representation or to design a good representation. Here we go. And these are the points, which the points of focus when you do a presentation. I will stop here around 3 to 5 minutes. to get your answer. Remember, the answer is in these 2 pages. Designing effective representation or presentation. Okay, guys, we'll go now to the next thing. We said designing effective presentation include analyzing the situation and the purpose, anticipate your audience, adapt text and color solution, organize your visuals, design your visuals, revise, proofread. Proofread means check out the spelling, the words, and evaluate the slideshow. Use slides effectively in front of an audience. Practice and purpose, and keep your audience engaged. Those are the steps which we use for effective slides. So also polishing your delivery and following up. Consider your delivery methods, how it is. Use cards to keep on track and prompt your memory. Consider developing techniques as well, or delivery techniques, what you will use, how you will use it. So those are the main points which we care about here in the delivery techniques. And so one thing also, before the presentation, what you will do, prepare your work, rehearse repeatedly, time yourself, make a time management for the presentation, and request a lectern, and check the room, greet members of the audiences, practice stress reduction, because you might be stressed then. During the presentation, begin with a pause, present your first few sentences from memory, maintain eye contact always, control your voice and vocabulary, put the brakes on, move naturally. So you have to move, not just stop. Use visual aids effectively, avoid digressions, and summarize your main points. These are the things which you have to do during the presentation. After your presentation, distribute handouts. If you have handouts, distribute it. Encourage them if they have any questions or something. Repeat the questions. So if they have questions, just repeat it, not to answer it only. You just repeat the question, then say the answer. Reinforce your main points. Keep control. Avoid yes, but. Don't you say yes, but. So as example, if someone tell me, edit. So because yes, but, it might have exceptions, or it might have also a kind of double meanings or whatever. End with a summary and appreciation. End with summary and appreciation. So that is the points which we usually say. Now for the summary, differentiate between major presentation types and answer to preparatory questions. Organize the presentation effectively and build audience rapport. Compare the main types of presentation aids. Design effective visual presentation. Deploy effective delivery techniques in presentation. So those are the points which we have to care about One more thing again, we said we talk about the designing effective. We talked today about the types of visual aids like the slides. What are the types of the visual aids? The slides, the infographics, the flips, the charts, or the whiteboard, smartboard, or the handouts. So those are the types of the visual aids. And each one of them, we said, is having advantages and is having also disadvantages. Now here I will go for what the second question today, which is, what are the types of visual aids? What are the, then again, we came to this point. What are the types of visual aids? Types of visual aids. Just one sec. Here we go. What are the types of visual aids? Here we go. Control and V. And here I will remove this E and just close this E here. Then I will put this one like this, and I will, here we go. What are the types of visual aids? And here we go. Control and C, and here Control and V. What are the types of visual aids? This is a question, and the answer of this question is the slides, infographics, flips, charts, smartboards, and handouts. Those are the answers of this question, the types of visual aids. So this was the first question today, second question today. The third question, how to design effective presentation, and we had this question already. To design a good or effective presentation, good or effective presentation. And we said, analyze the situation and the purpose, anticipate your audiences, adapt text and color selections, organize your visuals, design your visuals, revise it, the visuals, proofread it, and evaluate slideshow, use slides effectively in front of the audiences. And this is another point. You have also to do like polishing your delivery and follow up. We said things for the delivery techniques before and after and during. So the third question today will be, what do you have to do? What will you do before, during, and after the presentation? So what you're supposed to do before, during, and after the presentation. So those are the points which you have to work on. What you're supposed to do, what is the same things. So before the presentation, like we said before, I will repeat it back. So before the presentation, we will just go for, like I can show you here, before the presentation, prepare everything, be well prepared, rehearse repeatedly, repeat your work, time yourself. This part will take 5 minutes, this part will take 7 minutes, this part will take 6 minutes. Request selection, choose the room which you will do your presentation in based on the audience numbers, how many audience you have, greet members of the audience when you go inside to the lecture room or the presentation room. Practice stress reduction. So don't go over stressed, and this will affect. If you are stressed, this will affect on you for sure. During the presentation, begin with a pause. So stop. Present your first few sentences from memory. So try just to like make a warming introduction. Maintain eye contact always with the people. Don't look on the seal or on the floor. Keep contacting the audience eyes. And not in only one person, not to focus on one person and leave the others. You have to move your eyes in between all the members of the audiences. Control your voice and your vocabulary. Put the brakes on. Move naturally. Use visual aids effectively. Avoid digression. Summarize your main points. And one thing I want to say more, the tone of speech, It should be always changed, and you have to stress also in the intonations, and you have always to be like changing the style or changing the tone of your speech. So you'll have ups, raise, and reduce the tone of speech. Don't leave it in the same cadence or rhythm, because if you do it like this, people might lose focusing with you. This is during the presentation. And after the presentation, distribute handouts, encourage the questions, repeat the questions, reinforce your main points, keep control, avoid yes, but answers, and with a summary and appreciation. That was regarding those two questions. What are the types of visual aids? And we said the types of visual aids are here. Again, I will go to it. Here we go. Those are the types of visual aids: slides, infographics, flips, like flip chart or flip whiteboard or whatever. The paper which you flip it. Smart boards, and also for one of the things which we have is smart boards and the handouts. Those are the things. And we talk about the second question. So this was the first question today. And the second question was, what will you do before, during, and after the presentation? What will you do during, within, and before, during, and after the presentation? And we said the points which you have to be very focused in before and during and after the presentation. Shall see you in the next lecture. Thank you so much. Thanks. Shall see you in the next video. Thank you.